What's up, everybody? Welcome into A to Z Sports Picks. Brian and I are going to have a great show for you this Friday. Get you all set up for the betting weekend. Brian, my man, looking sharp as always. How we doing?
What's going on, brother? Happy Friday. I hope our listeners tailed your over pick, and hopefully they faded my Georgia pick because it was not very good.
Well, it was tough, man. Like those two playoff games were awesome,
They
right?
were
Like,
both awesome.
yeah, yeah. Let me say, I had the under on the Michigan game. That was a horrible play. You know what I mean? Like, who would have thought that it would turn out like that?
But it didn't really look bad early. I mean, it still didn't look bad at halftime either.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
third quarter kind of went wild.
It shot that one to the moon, man.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody, welcome in A to Z Sports Picks. Uh, I'm Alan Bell, CBS Sports Line, alongside Brian Edwards of VegasInsider.com. A to Z Sports Picks is brought to you every Friday by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Right now, the BetMGM Refer a Friend invitation just for you. Score a $50 bonus when your friend signs up via your invitation. They get $50. You do too. You can refer up to 20 friends, up to $1,000 in bonuses, man. Brian, $1,000 in free bets courtesy of BetMGM? Count
I
me in
like
on
it.
that, dude.
I know. That makes me want to move to Tennessee.
I just want to hear your response. That is BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years or older. Must be present in the state of Tennessee. For gambling problem support, call the Tennessee Red Line at 800-889-9789. All right, Brian, let's get to it, man. Tennessee Titans, Saturday night in Jacksonville. Everything on the line. AFC South, playoffs, home playoff game. All right. Jaguars 6.5-point favorite right now. I'll throw it to you, man. What do you think?
So, I just can't trust either team. I think the Jags are going to win. I just don't know that they're going to cover. Now, they have won 4 games in a row, and 3 of those games they've won by 14 points or more, including the win in Nashville. And they've won 5 of their last 6, both straight up and against the spread. And they've won 6 of their last 8 while going 6-1-1 against the spread. The only losses being at Kansas City. That was the push when they were +10, and at Detroit. And Detroit has been outstanding at home all year long. So no shame. I mean, Jacksonville's been playing good for 2 months. I think Trevor Lawrence is playing his best football for 2 months. But the Titans do have extra rest. The Titans are 5-2-1 against the spread on the road this year. And I saw a stat on Vrabel. I don't know if maybe you have it because I forget what it was, but it was very impressive when he's had 9 days or more to prepare, which he does in this spot here because they played last Thursday. Um, he's been very good. So I'm okay with the Jags in a teaser, maybe a teaser with the Bengals, but I'm passing in terms of straight play pregame.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I mean, you're not wrong there, right? Because the pressure's all on Jacksonville, right? If Tennessee comes out, you make a play, you get to Trevor, get a fumble, right? Get a short field, punch in a quick touchdown. Not they're going to give up, but the pressure's all on them, right? That being said, Jacksonville is by far playing better football coming into this game than Tennessee. I mean, it's not even close. And
Right.
I think the most stout Titans fan would agree with that, right? Like that's not rocket science. But what is this. I'll tell you how to play this game. Okay. What you do is you take the Titans team total over 16.5. That's how you play this game. You don't have to mess with the spread. You don't have to mess with the total. You don't have to mess with anything. The Titans are going to do everything that they can to try and win this game. There's no tomorrow. Like there's no tomorrow in their operation. All right. Now, I'm not saying they're going to come out and score 40, but they're going to get you 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Like I am pretty confident that they are going to be able to do that, right? Even if it's Jacksonville blowing them out. Like you could get garbage time points here. Like there's no stopping. So I think that that's my favorite play. That's really my only play on this game is to do that because I think that you're going to see Tennessee just go all out. Fourth downs don't matter anymore if you're losing and in the mid third quarter, right? Like you're gonna have to go. Like you're gonna have to go for it. And it's gonna be the most aggressive game the Titans play. So yeah, team total over 16.5. I think that's the way to do it. Any other thoughts that you have on this game?
No, I just I hope Tennessee wins outright because my first cousin is a season ticket holder of the Jags, and I constantly berate him and make fun of him how bad they suck. So I really don't want them to make the
There
playoffs.
you go. Hey, a little nice family affair for the new year. I like
Oh
that.
yeah, oh
Speaking
yeah,
of something a little more nicer than just that, but something that brings the family together is Omaha Steaks, Brian. They are always
always.
doing this. Oh, dude, bringing it. Fall's in the air, and that means fall grilling, cookouts, tailgates, and so much more. Luckily, the flavor experts at Omaha Steaks have made it easy to savor all the flavors with their mouth-watering assortments of perfectly aged steaks, ultra juicy burgers, and easy to prepare comfort meals that are ready in a flash. Now is the perfect time to load up on all this incredible flavor and take advantage. 50% off site wide by shopping their friends and family sale. Go to omahasteaks.com and use our promo code A to Z. That's ATOZ at checkout to get $30 off your order. Don't wait. Go to omahasteaks.com and stock up today. Omaha Steaks isn't just steak, Brian. It's the best steak of your life, guaranteed. And don't forget to score that extra $30 off your order when you use A to Z at checkout. Omaha Steaks is perfect for those chilly and busy nights. You won't come close to getting this kind of quality at the grocery store. Visit omahasteaks.com, promo code A to Z at checkout. Minimum order may be required. Now, ain't no minimum order here on this, buddy. We're at the final game, college football, national championship. All right. Georgia, TCU. What am I looking at here now? Spread 12 and a half, Georgia. Total 62 and a half. You want to go first? You want me to go first? What are your thoughts here?
I'll go. So right at the open, I grabbed TCU for just a little bit. It was 13 and a half. I bought the half point to the key number of 14. On Tuesday, when it seemed like there were only a few spots left at 13, and a lot of books were headed toward 12 and a half, 12. I grabbed some more at 13. And I'm not sure we're going to see 13 again. In fact, a lot of books are at 12, and a lot of books have the total at 63. I mean, all that matters with us, our great friends at BetMGM, is 62 and a half, and I like the over as well. So I would get it while you can at BetMGM at 62 and a half because 63 is a key number, being a multiple of 7. But let me backtrack just to why I like TCU. So Max Duggan. Um, 30-4 TDI and T ratio in the first 13 games. Now he was picked off twice last week, but like Duggan's not the same NFL prospect as CJ Stroud, but I think he's every bit the college football player that Stroud is. And you probably give a slight edge to the wide receiver talent for Ohio State compared to TCU's, but I think Quentin Johnston is the best of those wide receivers, and I think he's going to be a top 15, if not a top 10 pick. And I think he's going to be very tough to defend for Georgia. And Georgia's defense has, it got a little exposed last week. And I think TCU has a very similar explosive passing attack. Now, I'm a little worried about Kendre Miller, their superstar running back who had to leave the game last week. He's questionable. I'm worried whether he's going to play, and if he plays, if he's going to be 100%. But DeMarcado, the backup, had 150 rushing yards, 1 touchdown on 17 carries against Michigan last week. And Georgia's got a few injuries that are concerning for them. The tight end Darnell Washington, who's just that monster, like 6'9". He had 27 catches, 426 yards, 2 touchdowns this year. And their starting offensive tackle Warren McClendon is very iffy, also listed questionable. I'm pretty sure Darnell Washington is not going to play, but McClendon, that's iffy. But yeah, so I also like the over. The over's 8-5 overall for TCU, but one of the unders had 69 combined points. So if the total was 60, 2.5 or 63, their overs would be 9-4 rather than 8-5. Georgia's last 2 games have had combined scores of 80 and 83. Obviously, we saw that monster score last week with TCU Michigan, 96 combined. Georgia averages 39.2 points per game. TCU is sixth in the nation in scoring, 40.3 points per game. So I like the over, and I like TCU. Now, I don't like to have the same amount on the side and the total. If in a one-game scenario, I like to have a little more. So I would say I would go a little bit more on the over as long as you're getting it at 63 or less. If it moves to 64 or so, I'd probably lean toward having a little more on TCU. But I also did a reverse with them. If those of y'all are our listeners that can't do reverses, I'm okay with a parlay with TCU and the over because it's our last chance to gamble on college football. So there we go. And I hope TCU wins outright. I don't know. I don't know that they are, but I think they got a shot. I wouldn't be shocked.
I mean, it's been a Hollywood story every other game,
right?
For them, right? Look, I don't have a play like officially on the spread or the total. If gun to the head, if I had to, I think I'd take Georgia 12.5. That's where I would stop. We talk about key numbers, like in the NFL, like 7, 10, 14, 20, whatever. College, 13, because college is just a little more weird, man. You've got teams that'll go for 2. You've got missed extra points. Like 13 is that key number for me, way more than 14. So if I could get Georgia 12.5, I think I'd play that. Don't feel great about it. I'm with you on TCU too. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm not sure that the numbers. I think the numbers going to go down more. I could see it maybe.
Oh.
I mean, it's been trending that way all week. Now I don't
all
think
the money's on TCU, like 91%. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that it would get all the way to 11, which I consider a key number, but it may get to 11.5. We'll see.
Yeah. So here's my play, though. This is what I've done. I've already put it in. Georgia, first half, team total, over 20.5. You're getting it under 21. And let me just say this. It can be difficult as a coach to really be hard on your team in practice all week when you're going for your second straight title. Like, what are you really going to say? Oh, you guys are terrible. You're just terrible. Like, it's pretty hard to – you're probably a pretty good team, right? That being said, that's a coach's dream after that Ohio State game where you almost blew it and lost, but you still won. I bet Kirby has had the red earth all week on his team. And what they're not going to do is come out again flat, slow, and let the other team jump up ahead. That ain't going to happen, Hoss. Like, I got a feeling Georgia's coming out on fire. They're going to be aggressive offensively. They're going to be aggressive defensively. And let me say this, too. TCU, they had the opposite, right? Like, they were basically gifted 21 points in the first half. Again, I'm not saying anything negative on TCU. What I'm saying is you got two teams coming in that basically had completely different beginnings to their semifinal game, and I think it kind of flips. So long story short, Georgia team total over 20.5 first half. And you know what? TCU could score only one, which actually helps, right? If they do it quickly, right? But, dude, over 20.5 Georgia, I think they're going to come out on fire. As for the total, look, I'm almost trying to outsmart myself and say the under. I could see a scenario, a game script where it does, but everything tells you to play the over. Like Georgia's defense, we've talked about on the show all year. Georgia's defense is good, but it's not last year's defense. They give up points. I mean, the SEC championship against LSU featured 80.
And right? Nussmeier was lighting those boys up. I know there was it was a big lead and they had let up a little bit, but
but still,
I was surprised. Yeah, I mean, I was hoping for a backdoor cover by LSU. I was surprised. Nussmeier was balling.
Yeah. Like that's what I'm saying. Like Georgia will give up points. Now Georgia, again, we say it every week. They're the most consistent team in college football in terms of what the data that they're gonna the data output of each Georgia game. Like if you just look at it at a computer, right? They're gonna score 35 to 40 points. Clockwork. They're going to do it. I don't care who they're playing against. They're going to score 35 to 40 points. The defense is also going to give up points too. So you're basically looking at, let's just say 35. Georgia scores 35 points, right? How many does TCU score? They get above 28? Get above 30? Like,
well, TCU's team total is 24.5 and Georgia's is 37.5.
37.5, so they split it right in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not against the Georgia's team total over, and that could kind of work as a bit of a hedge on a TCU bet.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that's how, like, honestly, like in championship type games, I do the same thing in the Super Bowl. Like, dude, spreads, totals, like you could get hurt by them. it's a smart way to go about how you just talked about right there. Like, if you have a play in the spread, if you have a play in the total, like have a hedge, like on a team total, right? And pick one that you feel good about, right? So, yeah, kind of how we go about it. All right. Those are our plays for college football national championship. NFL, week 18. All right. We have a week of the NFL here left beyond the Titans and the Jaguars. We got the Chiefs and the Raiders on Saturday, and then everyone else is playing on Sunday. So people have heard enough of me yapping here. Brian, I throw it over to you. What are you looking at this week? What do you like in the NFL?
All right, I really like San Francisco's team total in the first half to go over 13.5. They're going to get Debo Samuel back. They're going up against an Arizona team that's ranked 30th in the NFL in scoring defense. When they played at Arizona, the Niners won 38-10 and had 17 at halftime. In these games that Brock Purdy has either started or either started or when he came in relief of Jimmy G there early in that Dolphins game. They have gotten to at least 14 by halftime in every one of those games, with the only exception being that game at Seattle. Which was a short week game, and Purdy didn't practice the whole week. In fact, he had not even thrown a pass till they were at the hotel the afternoon of the game. So Niners team total over 13.5 in the first half. They're going to be going all out, because they've got, Minnesota and Philadelphia that they're hoping to, stay or catch Philly if they lose, which probably isn't going to happen, but stay ahead of Minnesota because they're probably going to win at Chicago without Justin Fields. I also like San Fran's team total over 26.5 for the game, but I like it more amount wise in the first half. I like the Steelers minus 2.5 at home to the Browns. The Steelers have won 3 games in a row, both straight up and against the spread, and they're 5-1, both straight up and against the spread in their last 6. Now they need Miami and New England to lose to get into the playoffs with a win on their part. But those games are going on at the same time. But it's not like if it looks like Miami or New England are going to win, it's not like they're going to yank their rookie quarterback out of the game. I mean, they also have Mike Tomlin's never had a losing season, which is a
I
really
was about to say that. Yep.
yeah. I mean, that's a really impressive thing, and he is very well respected and liked in that locker room. So even if it doesn't look like it's going to go their way with the playoff scenarios, they're still at
The
home.
Steelers don't quit. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Like they don't quit. Like, no.
yeah, and this is a division rival, a bitter rivalry. They're going all out, and the Clowney situation doesn't hurt our cause, as he's probably not going to play, and it was ripping on the DC and was told to leave the facility either yesterday or the day before.
It's always something with him. It's
Yeah.
always something with him.
Yep, for sure. I'm also going to go under 40.5 on the Bucks and my sorry ass Falcons. The under has cashed in 5 straight for Atlanta and 7 of the last 8. And the Falcons have been held to 18 points or fewer in 7 of their last 10. The under is 11-5 overall for the Bucks, who average only 18.5 points per game. And when they played earlier this year, it was a 21-15 Tampa win for only 36 combined. And I think Brady's going to start and whatnot, but I don't think he's going to go the whole way. I think we could see one of the worst backups in the league and Blaine Gabbert getting a pretty significant amount of snaps, or Kyle Trask getting his first snaps of his career. So I think all of those scenarios bode well for the under. The last one, I got Cincinnati at -7 early in the week. That's long gone. It's -10 now. I'm not against Cincinnati in a teaser. However, if you can bump it down to 2.5 or 3, as long as push doesn't lose on a teaser. Other teams to potentially tease, perhaps Jacksonville, perhaps Seattle. Bengals -7 is long gone. But I'm not against them in a teaser, and that'll do it for me.
Nice. Now I want to say, everybody out there, like, and everybody thinking it, like, but it's good to just reiterate: be careful this week. Just be careful. Like, you've got a lot of different things going on across the league, and look, players, like, they don't quit. You know what I mean? Like, players have incentives to play for. They have jobs to play for. Like, you don't see players just quit, but you see teams do things differently this week. They operate differently, right? Like, some teams might not punt really much at all. Some teams might punt way more than they normally do. Like, be careful, pay attention to the games, the teams that matter. Like, who would have thought coming into this week that the Giants could rest their players against the Eagles? Like, you
Right?
would have thought it'd be the opposite. You know what I mean? Like, just know your narratives out there. Be careful.
Yeah.
But that being said, I've only got a couple plays here. First, the Green Bay Packers at home. They have to win to get in the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers has won 10 straight home games in the months of December and January. The dude's on fire. I'll roll with the Packers -5.
Well, Florida's never lost in December, has he? I don't think
Nope.
so.
Not at home. Nope. Second.
Not anywhere. I don't think. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
you're right. Yeah, you're right.
I don't think he's lost at all.
Next, Dallas Cowboys -7 against the Washington Commanders. All right. Cowboys have things to play for, positional seating. And let me just say this. If you go back and you look at stats and splits for Dak Prescott against teams in the NFL, there's no one that he has historically played better against than Washington. It's every time. Him, and it was Amari Cooper for a while. CeeDee Lamb is obviously, taking that place. Like, they carve up Washington. So if you're looking at props, I'd play overs on Dak. I'd play overs on CD. But I'm going to play Dallas as a whole, -7. I think that they trounce Washington there in Washington. And then the last play, excuse me, I know that you had I'm staying away. I'm staying away from anything Bills related, anything Bengals related. And I'm not saying that your play is bad. It's not. I want to ride the Bills -7 at home against the Patriots. Like, I think the Bills could come out and beat the hell out of New England. But, I mean, what mental place are they in? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it could be great or it could be horrible. So I'm not going to put that out on anybody. If you want to ride it, be careful. Ride it. Like, I like it, but be careful, man. Like, you don't know where their heads are going to be. The Bengals, like, not that they're dealing with the same situation, obviously, that Buffalo is. Cincinnati might come out and win by 100. Like, you know what I mean? Like they could just say, hey, screw it, dude. Like, we're going to go out and blast you. But just saying, be careful on that one. What I do like, though, Kansas City, Saturday, -9 against the Raiders. Kansas City sees 1 seed is right there. Bye week is right there. We're going up against the Raiders, divisional opponent. And you know what? I think that the Raiders, with the success that Josh McDaniels had last week with Jarrett Stidham, he's going to be over-aggressive. He's going to be a little overconfident. All right? He's going to be trying some things like, oh, yeah, we're good. I like to fade after, like, the rookie. Not that he's a rookie, but, like, the young guy had the amazing, huge game. Yeah, I'm going to fade that the next one, especially when the Chiefs have everything to play for. They might give him some fits, right? So I'm going to take the Chiefs at -9. I think that they win by 10. It's probably a touchdown field goal game. I'll roll with them -9. Any other NFL thoughts you have, Brian?
No, not really. Other than I hope Lamar Jackson's going to be a Falcon next year. Did you hear Harbaugh's comments the other day?
No.
So it sounds like, well, the initial timeline on him to be back was Christmas Eve. And he got asked, I think it was Wednesday, he got asked about, Lamar missing practice and what that means for this week. And he just was like, I'm just not going to touch that. I'm not going to get into that at all. And they're like, well, what about for the playoffs? He goes, like I said, I'm not going to get into it.
That
So
ain't good.
I think Lamar Jackson is trying to sit out and stay healthy.
Wow.
We'll
Yeah, that's
see.
not good. That's not good for anybody.
It's not
involved.
good.
No. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really do
Oh, wait,
appreciate it.
hold on. I got some NBA.
Oh, let it rip. Yeah, what do you got?
Oh, yeah, my fault. I thought you just were talking about NFL. Yeah, so let me rip a couple of NBA. So I like the Pacers. I got it 1.5 this morning, but it's 2 or 2.5 now. I'm okay with that. So they're playing Portland. Portland has lost 5 road games in a row, both straight up and against the spread, and it's 1-6 straight up and against the spread in its last 7 on the road. Meanwhile, Indiana's won 4 in a row at home, both straight up and against the spread. winning by margins of 8, 9, and 15 in their last 3. And the Pacers are 9-2 against the spread in their last 11. And it doesn't hurt our cause that Jeremy Grant for Portland is listed as questionable. He averages 22.5 points per game, but I still like it even if Grant does play. I also like the over 236 for the Pistons and the Spurs. These are the 2 worst scoring defenses in the NBA. The over's on fire for San Antonio, cashing in 9 straight, and is on a 12-1 run in the Spurs' last 13 games. The over's on a 9-4 run for Detroit in its last 13 to improve to 24-16-1 overall. I also like Denver minus 5.5 to the Cavs. Cleveland's going to rest Donovan Mitchell tonight. He's averaging 29 points, 4.9 assists, 4.0 rebounds, 1.5 steals per game. And their other guard, Darius Garland, who's missed the last 3 games with a thumb injury, is still listed as questionable. He averages 21.4 points, 7.8 assists per game. But this is more about Denver being on fire right now. They're 15-3 straight up, 11-7 against the spread at home for the season, whereas the Cavs are 7-10 straight up, 5-10-2 against the spread in 17 road games. The Nuggets have won 9 in a row at home, and they've won 5 of those by 12 or more. They are in a back-to-back spot, but they trounced the Clippers last night. They were up 66-32 at halftime, and only one of their starters played more than 24 minutes. That was Contavious Caldwell-Pope. They had 10 guys play 12 minutes or more, so it's not like a typical back-to-back spot. There was no travel. They were at home. They're at home again, and none of their guys played major minutes. So Denver minus 5.5, Spurs Pistons over, and the Pacers. And then tomorrow, if Alabama, the lines aren't out, but if Alabama is minus 6 or fewer at home to Kentucky, I like the Crimson Tide. Kentucky's really struggling. And last but not least, way off the beaten path, the under has cashed in 13 straight games for Mary Mack in college basketball. They're ranked number 363 out of 363 Division I teams in offensive efficiency at KenPom. And last night, I had their under 131, and there were 114 points scored. So 13 unders in a row for Mary Mack, and they are in action tomorrow. Look for
There
the
we
under.
go. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We really do appreciate it. We'll be back next week. More picks on Friday. But until then, everybody, best of luck. Cash these tickets. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much.
Good luck, everybody.